Hi, I'm Mike. It's still winter in Northeast Wyoming. In fact, we have a major snowstorm coming up just within the next couple days. We're looking at 10 inches of snow to land right here. And today we're going to take a look at how we're getting ready for it, how we're preparing, and how it's not the end of the world on our Wyoming Life. Hi there, welcome back, and thanks for joining us once again as we explore the ranch life and escape the ordinary. This weather this year has been insane. We have forecast in the next 2 days 10 inches of new, fresh, wet snow. What that's going to do to the ranch, I'm not quite sure yet, but today we're actually going through and getting ready for tonight, which is going to be a busy night because we're going to have to be out checking cows, and anything that's born tonight could be in trouble with the wet snow. They're going to only have, a few minutes to get up and get moving, and if they don't, then they will die. It's really, that's all there is to it. So as we move through this video today, keep in mind that we are going to have a part 2. Either tomorrow or on Thursday, I will release the second part of this video, which will actually show the aftermath of this storm, because this is nothing yet. We've only gotten a couple inches of it so far. We have 10 more inches on the way. So tomorrow or Thursday, Wednesday or Thursday, we will release part 2 of this video. That will take you through the aftermath of the storm. I say Wednesday or Thursday because I don't really know how much I'm going to have to deal with and how much sleep I'm going to get, so I can't give you a definite day on when we're going to release that video, but it will be coming out, part 2 of this storm. So since I have you here with me, let's talk about something rather interesting, and that's my underwear. I don't I don't normally talk to folks about my underwear, but this actually has bearing on what's happening today. I wear thermal underwear, long underwear, in the wintertime. Let's see how many times I can say the word underwear in this video. So I actually really look forward to the day that I can put away the thermals and I don't have to mess with them any longer. I thought that day was weeks ago here on the ranch, and it turns out that it's not. The thermals have come out of retirement for the year and are back on, and I'm not really quite sure how to feel about that. I was really hoping that we would be done and over with thermal weather, but that's okay. Not much we can do about the weather. We're just going to grin and bear through it, get through it, and move on with the ranch life. So here's our plan for today. We've already fed the cows, got some food out for them so that they can stay warm. We're also going to check in with Erin and see what she has going on in the gardens and the high tunnels, as she's already planted some seedlings and seeds, and we'll see what's going on with that, if they're starting to come up, and how she's going to protect them through this cold winter weather, all this snow. We're also going to check on our bottle calves, which are outside right now in a corral, and we are going to move them back into the barn so that they can stay warm. The difference between those guys is that they don't have a mom with them to tell them what to do, to tell them to get out of the snow or the wind or find somewhere warm or anything like that. They don't have that, so they tend to lay down in probably the worst place that they could lay down, and they'll get wet and they'll get cold and possibly get pneumonia. So what we're going to do is move them back into the barn where they can stay dry, at least, if not a little bit warmer.
First though, we have to feed the cows. During cold and wet weather, the cows will be fed plenty, not only to keep them warm, but also keep their calves warm. Feeding in the snow and cold is never fun. The cows get pushy during cold weather, and doubly so when they think it should be spring. To tell you the truth, it's making me a bit cranky myself. All of this moisture though is definitely good. It's exactly what we need this time of year to help the hay crop grow. But moisture is only the beginning. We need heat, and we also need sunshine. neither of which is happening right now. So we're all crossing our fingers that after this battle with Mother Nature, more spring weather is on the way. Not only will we feed the cows this morning, we'll also bring some extra hay up to the house before we head out on the gator to check the cows and their calves. While we're doing that, we can head over to the high tunnel and see what Erin's up to.
This high tunnel is full of spring crops that are ready to be harvested, most of them. So let's go check it out and see how it's doing with this cold weather. So I actually watered everything really good before the cold because I knew that I wasn't going to be able to water for a few days because the well had to be turned off because of the freezing temperatures. Everything's nice and wet. Everything is still alive, which is great because we've had some cold nights. And I actually don't have anything covered in here because I don't have enough covers. And we have summer crops in the other high tunnel which need the covers more than this stuff. So we can just do a quick update and I can show you what we have in the ground. Over here, I've got a second planting of spring radishes. I just seeded those before the cold, so they're not up yet and they'll be germinated as soon as we get some sunshine. They'll just take a few days. We've got beets here. These will be ready much earlier than the beets will be ready outside. We've got a bed of spinach that is very much so ready to be harvested. So as soon as the farm store opens, we will be harvesting spinach. Here we've got some spring cabbage. This one's actually starting to make a little cabbage. These are all radishes, again, ready to be harvested. They'll go in the farm store as soon as we open here in a couple of weeks. And whatever I can't sell fresh, I'll probably make a bunch of pickled radishes. And then we've got some spring carrots that are up and doing great. So that's everything in the spring high tunnel. It's doing great. We just really need the farm store to get open so I can sell some crops. But even with the cold weather and not being covered, it's plenty warm in here and the spring crops are just fine. So this is our summer high tunnel. So this first row is cucumbers that I had direct seeded. There's cucumbers coming, so they're doing fine. Don't poke it, you'll break it. So it looks like the tomatoes are doing just fine. The main concern I actually have is we've just had days of cloudy weather and we just need some sunshine. This row looks good. Our soil temperature is holding at 50 degrees, so that's good. We use this fabric row cover. It does 7 degrees of frost protection, and it's working. So I'm glad to see that all of our crops are doing fine. Like I said, more than anything, we need some sunshine. The minute we get through the storm and we get some sunshine, all the row covers will come off, even if we have to put them back on at night. But during the day, we got to get the plants some sunshine. So I have gone ahead and seeded some of our crops into the large outdoor market plot. I've got stuff like beets, golden beets, turnips, kohlrabi, carrots, purple carrots. They're all in the ground, scallions. Nothing is up yet, of course, and I didn't expect it to. I just wanted to get it in the ground before we got all the snow. All of these seeds will be fine with the cold weather. The main concern now is we have all this moisture and I have a giant muddy garden and I don't know when I will be able to get back into it to finish planting. Hopefully, again, we get some sunshine and stuff gets started to warm up so that our seeds can germinate. Everything I planted though is cold weather germinating seeds. It should be fine. So there's an update on the gardens and let's just hope we can get through this storm and that everything's okay and the sun returns. Mike told me that he's gonna move some calves, so let's go see what Mike's doing.
And before we move the calves, we have to come up with a way to bribe them. A surefire way to get a calf to move is with food, especially when they haven't had a bottle since last night. So after whipping up a couple quick bottles, we can head out and start the short trek for the calves to move from the corral where they're currently living back into the barn. Cows aren't born with the herd instinct that a full-grown cow has. Moving calves is often like herding cats, and anytime more than one is involved, you're going to have issues. But it isn't hard, just frustrating. And if you have some patience, eventually you'll get them where they need to be. It always seems that one calf, in this case Rudolph, is a bit more insistent than the other. We can use this to our advantage because just like their full-grown counterparts, they don't want to be alone. That's one instinct that is born into them. So if Rudolph follows us into the barn, thanks to the bottle and his hungry little tummy, we can be sure that Jellybean won't be far behind. Of course, she is a bit stubborn and needs a reminder of what's going on here. Other cows can be very distracting too, but after a bit of work, we can get her moved up with her roommate, where they can continue their favorite pastime, fighting over food. In the barn tonight, they'll be warm, they'll be dry, and they'll be safe. And there are 2 less problems we have to worry about.
But only 2 less. We have hundreds of problems out there that are going to be on my mind for the next 24 hours or so. Not only the cows and the calves, but we also just had 12 million honeybees dropped off on the ranch for our local beekeeper, Dennis, who will distribute them across Northeast Wyoming, including our own little ranch here. Now, they assure me that the bees will be fine, but if they're here, I'm going to worry about them. Storms like these can really stress you out, but at the same time, I really do think that they're the reason why we do this. Why anyone who provides for somebody else, takes care of animals, land, whatever it may be, you want to be there when you're needed, when you can make a difference. And I guarantee that during the next couple of days, just being here is going to make a difference in someone's or some animal's life. It's what we live for. That and putting away your long underwear. But when you can't do one, you do the other. Now let's get really serious here. Serious and dramatic just for a minute. Cue up the echo, please. Will this storm mean the end of the ranch? Will 12 million bees die overnight? Is this the end of our Wyoming life? No. Of course not. And I hate that dramatic crap. There is a McDonald's literally 14 miles away from us. I'm not going to starve to death. Truth is that this storm, it can make a difference, good or bad. It's up to us to decide which way it's going to go. I hope that you're able to join us within the next couple of days for part 2 of this video. Learn how the storm went down and how we dealt with it, how it affected the ranch, and my sleep pattern. Until then, have a great week. And thanks for joining us in our Wyoming Life.